Hi Aries, Scottish Gypsy here to do your fortnightly tarot and oracle reading. I have 3 oracles today in tarot and I've just finished doing your pre-shuffle. If you're new to the channel, massive welcome. My name is Karen and as I said, readings go up every 2 weeks. On the alternate week, if I can, Aries, I'll post a bonus. So I really encourage everyone to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on a reading. Let's get on with it. Now, when I was pre-shuffling all of these beautiful cards, only one card came out. And it said empowerment. And I really immediately got that reference to Saturn being in your sign. Okay, so it might be having a really positive influence. You might find you're more motivated, more disciplined than usual towards your goals, dreams, and ambitions. So please share in the comments if it's having that positive impact. And, you know, to add to that, we do have Neptune retrograding into Aries. And that can be, you know, a good opportunity to even go deeper, to be a bit more reflective around those goals and dreams. Is there any areas that are holding you back, Aries? But yeah, let's really use that Saturn influence to get you smashing out some goals. Let's get on with the reading. Oh, I forgot to say, there was one card that came out of tarot, and it was the Hierophant. Some of you are cuspers. I've said that before. There's quite a lot in the collective of Taurus and Aries, so that may be why I saw the Hierophant, because it's their major arcana. Having said that, when it came out, 2 of Wands was at the bottom of the deck, so you could be planning, preparing, making some decisions about your future. Now, Hierophant can talk to commitments and contracts, large organizations, so those themes can be significant for the collective. It can also be around marriage. So yeah, let's get on with it. Bottom of the deck, I've got first place. Well, you know, you Aries, you can be a competitive bunch. So I'm not really surprised to see that some of you are getting first place, and you can see that Mercury is still retrograding, hence why I'm not very articulate at the moment, Aries. So please be patient. It can affect our communication. Let's begin. All right, Aries, what some of the strongest themes are in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So we do have full moon in Aquarius in a couple of weeks. Let's see. All right, we have a card sticking to me. Oh, beautiful. Now that's interesting because I'm pretty sure I did the Taurus reading. And I think Taurus had this card. I'm almost certain. So I really do feel I'm connecting with a lot of cuspers or people that are dealing with, there's a Taurus and Aries influence. But, you know, often you watch all readers, they'll say that Taurus and Aries always have a lot of overlap. This looks beautiful, guys. I don't know if some of you are tying the knot. Congratulations. There could be some of my beautiful collective getting married. They could be purchasing a home, moving in together. I mean, look at that combination. But it can also bode really well for just harmonious dynamics within the home, within relationships, love. I mean, look at that beautiful love heart behind those 2 people. Very romantic, I have to say. Let's see, Aries. No. Okay. What is going on? All right. You have to watch the Taurus reading. And if it's, you know, just for no other reason than to see that exact same cards came out. I'm not even recording on the same day. Just so you know. All right. So there's definitely some sort of dynamic here today. And let me just get some water. All the exercise I've been doing this week. Don't worry, I am hydrated. I'm having 2 to 3 liters a day. But look at this. Taurus had this exact combination. Beautiful. Now, their story was around a reconciliation or repairing of a relationship. Okay, I won't go too deep into it because I'm here for Aries. But for you, I really feel that some of you, if you're getting married, this is your best friend. Like, this is when best friends become lovers. That could be a theme somehow. It just can reference that this is just a really romantic time, a really harmonious time within friendships and within love. So either way, it bodes beautifully. Maybe, you know, your best friend is getting married. You could be in the bridal party. Who knows? Look at this. I can't speak and I have to get water and I get the throat chakra. And by the way, the Hierophant is Taurus, and Taurus rules the throat. But also often this can show up in its strength when there's, you know, you're stepping into your power and there could be a really important communication. So it's often when you're using your voice in a strong way in its strength. In its shadow, it can be when there's issues or blocks around the throat. So whether that's health related issues, or if it's just lacking the confidence to speak your truth. Okay, so you'll know whether this is in its strength or in its shadow, but it looks really lovely here. Now, perhaps communication is a really important key in terms of whatever this dynamic is, if it's repairing a relationship, if it is a proposal of some kind or a conversation around a relationship, could be around moving in together and home. Let's work with another oracle. I'm loving this already, Aries. Okay, it's time for a bit of adventure. Okay, you are an adventurous bunch, so not entirely surprised, Aries, that we see the adventure card. So I don't really feel I need to push you to have a bit of fun and adventure. You might feel like this next chapter of your life is a new adventure as well, Aries. What do we have? The big picture. Okay, bottom of the deck is illumination. So there's something about the way that you're looking at life, the way that you're looking at a particular dynamic or situation. It feels expansive. You're looking at the big picture and you're coming into the energy of illumination and clarity. All right, Aries. What else? And now we've got Keep Your Dreams Alive. I totally love this card. One of my favorites. The other card I love in this deck is Keep Your Heart Open. But yeah, keep your dreams alive here, Aries. It does feel like something could be coming together, and perhaps it is around this dynamic, or it is a situation around a home. Let's see, Aries. For example, I'm a Taurus cusper. I'm 21st of April. And I've got a dream and aspiration around a home. So, that could be, some of you could be in the same boat. Yeah, look at this, another beautiful card. Love matters, doesn't it ever? Look at the love here, Aries. The universe really wants you to prioritize relationships, friendships, and romantic love. Some of you might be really becoming illuminated at the importance of relationships and love in your life. Let's get one more oracle, shall we? Healing. No. It's quite interesting for the cuspers. You're getting that double whammy of Chiron, right? So Chiron is currently in Taurus, but it will retrograde for a period back into you, Aries. So whether you're an Aries, Taurus, or a cusper, there's just this beautiful element of healing through the Aries and Taurus collective. Now, of course, Chiron can be challenging around healing, but ultimately it's to bring us to the best version of ourselves. It's for our greatest and highest good. So really embrace that energy. And it is next to truth. So perhaps you are getting illumination and clarity and honesty about, the aspects of yourself that need healing or need continued healing. Let's begin. Aries. Oh, wow. Did you see the way that card came out? Oh, look at that. It is beautiful high vibration of faith and gratitude. The card says believe, Aries. Look at the little kid, right? They're looking up at the shooting star. They're a kid. They're filled with wonderment about life and the universe. And they have that complete faith that when they're wishing on that, shooting star, that it's going to come true. They have that blind faith, kids. I don't know, I feel like that's what you've been encouraged to connect with, that energy of absolute faith and belief, because you've got it. I've immediately placed it next to Keep Your Dreams Alive. Okay, I just noticed that I did that. I placed it on top of it. So feels really connected here. Now, you might be really coming into this beautiful energy because perhaps some of you have been working on your vibration through gratitude. So tell me in the comments, do you have a gratitude prayer? Do you have a gratitude journal? Is there something that you do in your daily life that is lifting your vibration here? Because, for example, every morning, the first thing I do when I open my eyes is I pray a gratitude prayer. So I go through all of the things and people and circumstances that I'm grateful for and that I feel blessed by. And it really is one of the best ways to raise your vibration and to, to start really manifesting your hopes, dreams, and desires here. Okay, what else, please? Aries, lead me to another card. And now we've got passion. Wow, I'm loving your reading today. So it's a time of passion, love, faith, having optimism about your future, seeing the bigger picture, realizing the value and importance of love and relationships and healing. Okay, one more. So good. And now we have awakening. Wow, beautiful. One of the earth signs got this. I think it was Virgo. Yeah, I really feel your soul is awakening here, Aries. I don't know. I just feel this raise or elevation of your vibration. You might be coming into the energy of making big shifts in your life. So for me, this is connecting to that judgment energy of a spiritual awakening, or you just waking up here. Let's get some tarot and pull it all together. Six of Cups. Well, you know, that's very much a retrograde energy, so often shows up during Mercury retrograde, so it can connect to the past. But it's love, you know, it's 6 cups of love. So it can be where you're bathing in that energy, right? So whether or not you're really grateful for your family, for your friends, for your loved ones, you might be reminiscing about your past. You know, you might be nostalgic, but in a really positive way here. But of course, sometimes it can show up when there's a connection to the past. So you might reach out to someone might reach out to you. But let's see. Aries. These are one of my favorite decks. Absolutely beautiful. Aries. Giving them a good shuffle. One more. Okay, I have a card stuck to me. It's interesting, but I don't mind it here. You know, 5 of Wands and other decks, Aries can be a challenging energy. It can be combative, fiery, aggressive even sometimes. But look at this. This illustration of 5 of Wands in this particular deck is quite different for me. And I always connect to the energy of a person who has learnt how to protect their energy, to protect their well-being, to protect the serenity, that no matter what chaos is going on around them, they're in this protection mode. You know, peace lilies here. So yeah, I like this. Okay, Justice at the bottom of the deck, Libra energy. Yeah, feeling balanced. Okay, let's keep going, Aries. And now we have the 8 of Swords. Interesting. So I'm going to say you might be overthinking a situation. The universe might be calling on you to break free from a mindset that might be perhaps needing to be broken free from. So we're going to keep going on that, and I'll tell you more on that in a second. Okay, Wheel of Fortune, number 10. Now, 10s in numerology connect to endings, Aries, and if you reduce 10, it goes to a 1, so it's endings and new beginnings. But the Wheel of Fortune's even better than that. This is Jupiter. Okay, so Jupiter and Leo at the moment, but this is a beautiful energy of good luck and good fortune and shifting dynamics in a really positive way. So you could expect some sort of karma here to be blessed by justice. So, you know, this is great for contracts, hierophant and justice, legal situations. It's also great for resolving situations. So where there are imbalances or disagreements or things needing to come into balance and harmony, it feels like there's a positive turn of events that creates that justice energy. But let's keep going. Aries. Now remember, the swords are our thoughts. The 8 of Swords can be limiting beliefs, or, you know, where your thinking is keeping you stuck in a situation. I have got the throat chakra, so perhaps communication could be really important at the moment. Another 8. So I've got 2 8s showing up. I mean, 8 on its own, though, is a power number, Aries. Connects also to the infinity symbol, which is believing that anything is possible. And I'm going to tell you why I love this 8 of Cups for you in a second, but I want to get 2 more for the middle row. Aries. Oh, beautiful, very spiritual. The Hanged One. Piscean energy. You might be in your emotions at the moment about a situation. Let's see. I really feel you're in deep reflection. 10 of Wands. You've got 2 10s today. There is a shifting dynamic here. I do feel like there is something about to go in your favor. Bottom of the deck, I've got Knight of Swords next to Justice. Could be dealing with a Libra, could be dealing with Aquarius, Gemini, but Libra and Gemini particularly are standing out with this combination. Now, the Knight of Swords can be quick communication, or someone who's acting decisively in a situation or quickly. So that could be relevant. And it could be after a period of deep reflection with the Hanged One. Okay, this can be a person who is choosing not to act. They're surrendering. But I feel that either a person was in the energy of Knight of Swords and they're now choosing to surrender, or vice versa. You're going to know. But I want to come back to this Eight of Cups because I love it. Now, obviously, Eight of Cups can talk about emotional withdrawal, walking away, and sometimes it can have that negative connotation or challenge around it. But look at the illustration if you're listening on your phone. Okay, you can see that person is got the beautiful dolphin and the dove beside them. So there is this playfulness and peace in that within them and around them. And they're reaching for the star. Okay, but you can see the mountain, so it's like something is out of reach, or it feels like it's out of reach, but this person is like, but I believe it's possible for me. Okay, so the Eight of Cups is like, you know, I have got 8 cups, you know, there's a level of contentment, but it's not it, right? The Nine of Cups is when we get to that place of, you know what, I feel really fulfilled now, or this is what my heart desired. This person has total absolute faith. They know something is a stretch, right? You've got the mountain, the star, and the rainbow. You know, I just feel like, Aries, if you're not in this, this is what the universe is calling you to do. Have blind faith, to have absolute faith and believe that something you truly desire with this star and the rainbow is yours, right? And that's the thing with manifestation. It's not just about, you know, putting a picture in a book or writing a list. You have to feel it. Like, you have to feel the embodiment of it, like it's already yours to have. And that's really what I'm picking up on with this believe and keep your dreams alive. Don't give up reaching for the stars, okay? And that's what I'm really picking up for you today. So I'm going to come back in a second. I want to get the last 3 before I say too much about anything else here, because there's a lot going on in this reading, Aries. Okay, let's see. Last 3, please. No, interesting. There are no people yet. We have no court cards on the spread, technically. Okay. Eat your words, Garen. All right, so we've got the Empress, the first one. Now, this is interesting because it's Venus and Taurus and Venus and Libra, so those signs could definitely be relevant. I have called out Justice and Hierophant today, so like I say, you could be dealing with those signs or have a strong placement. Now, this is the Divine Feminine. This is a court card, so it can 100% represent the embodiment of you, or the embodiment of like an actual person that perhaps you're thinking about and reflecting about with the Hanged One. Okay, beautiful. Oh, 10 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. All right, there's lots of 10s. You got 3 10s showing up in the reading. There's only one that we don't have. Let's see. Which is the 10 of Swords, interestingly. And now we have the 4 of Cups, sorry. Yeah, you're definitely needing to keep the faith at this time. Let's see, Aries. Yeah, look at that, the Sun. The Sun, Leo energy. You've really got Jupiter in Leo today. So Wheel of Fortune and the Sun. It is going to bless you here, but I do feel there is some challenging energies in the collective. Let's talk about it. So instantly, you know, I am seeing 2 8s, which, you know, if you're seeing repeating 8s or repeating 10s or 10-10 on the clock, that could definitely be confirmation of this reading today. But also I'm feeling, you know, the heart of the reading, let's go there first. This is the Hanged One. So a person choosing to be still, to be quiet, to reflect. And I'm going to connect to the energy of an Aries who might be really trying to see something in their life, or someone with the Empress, from a different perspective. I don't know if your perspective is shifting in a situation, or you're being called to shift your perspective and see the bigger picture. Maybe it's time to come out of Hangman, because, you know, in its shadow, the Hangman can be a stuck energy. In its strength, it's a person who is choosing to look at life from a spiritual lens, right? This is a person who's seeking spiritual enlightenment. And there's some area of your life that you're being called to look at it from that spiritual lens. And also to shift your perspective and somehow get the bigger picture in a scenario. Now, this is a general reading. I don't know what this is for you, Aries, but you'll know why you're in the Hanged Man or the Hanged One. Now, without trying to confuse you, even though it's in the heart of the reading, if it's not you and you don't feel kind of in limbo or stuck at the moment or in deep reflection, you know, there could be a person, you know, whether it's romantic or otherwise, who could be in this with you. So you're going to have to place it where it fits. So some of the heavier energies, you know, there's actually quite a few. So let's talk about it. 5 of Wands can be when we're facing adversity in our life. We're facing competitive forces or competitive energy, or, you know, it can even be arguing or anger or hostilities. But Aries, you've been called to find your place of serenity within it. Some of you have already found it. You've learned how to embrace this energy of the 5 of Wands and still be okay. You're choosing peace. All right, so see how there's a volcano, but this person's protected. In fact, they're at peace. They've got lilies on them, even though there's a volcano. Now, the 8 of Swords is an overthinking energy. It's overanalyzing. And I'm going to say there has been a period that someone, you or the cross watcher, has been stuck or is stuck and is needing to liberate from that hangman energy and make a decision one way or another, or take action one way or another, or surrender, okay? Like there is just this coming out of that stuck overthinking energy, 8 of Swords. You know, this is about the eagle soaring, liberation and freedom from anything, any mindsets, any ways of living that are keeping you stuck, 8 of Swords. I really feel like you're needing to break free from overthinking here, Aries. Now, the Wheel of Fortune does say that, you know, Jupiter and Leo is playing in your favor in this reading today. So you can expect really positive change, but it doesn't mean we just sit and wait. You know, like you've got enough oracles here today, Aries, where they're asking you to raise your vibration through gratitude, raise your vibration through realizing that love matters. So I don't know if that's a theme that you've been, because 4 of Cups, by the way, just let me say, 4 of Cups can be unrequited love. It can be rejection of love. It can be disappointment and love. You'll know which one it is. And the universe is saying, remember that love matters. So if you have been rejecting, you know, being around friends, being around loved ones, or even rejecting romantic connections, you know, you're getting all this reference to be around, remember the value of love. And I do have this unity and best friends, so you know, I do feel you've been called to remember the value of that. And like I say, this 8 of Cups for me is about pursuing your dreams no matter how far out of reach you believe them to be. Like it does feel there is a stretch here towards the attainment or achievement of something, or having something that you desire, or getting to that place of emotional contentment. It's not out of reach, but you have to have faith and believe. Now, the 10 of Wands does say you've been through a rough patch here. It can be that long, hard road, you know, where it can feel like you're carrying a lot of burden at this time. And the good news about all these 10s showing up in the reading today is it does feel to me this whole aspect of letting go or shedding something, okay, just leaving the past in the past and opening up to a new way of living, a new way of being. And there's something about raising your vibration through your mindset and the way that you view your life and the world, and particularly your goals and love. But yeah, it's time, I feel, to let something go. And it can just be the weight of what you've been carrying metaphorically, okay? So it does feel to me like this shedding process. No, the Empress and the Sun are glorious. Even just those 2 cards alone bode really well for Aries. And if we take, oh my goodness, I'll wait till I show you. Bottom of the deck, 10 of Pentacles, Star, Judgment. Okay, so 10 of Pentacles can be marriage, family, wealth, long-term commitment, financial stability and security. You'll know which one of those, but it's connected to someone's star. I need to cover the nudity. Sorry, guys. Aquarian energy. So I do feel that a lot of you, that could be your goal, dream, or ambition. But it is a time of waking up. This is the judgment energy that I referred to. Coming out of that long slumber, that hangman, okay? And choosing to awaken. And remember that you are blessed here. You've got Empress, the Sun, and the Wheel of Fortune. So I do feel like there are blessings coming into your life. And, you know, even here in the Four of Cups, this can be when someone's unhappy or just feeling not great. And you can see the sun rising even here. Even though there's that river of tears, you can still see the sun rising. And it's next to the Sun and the Empress. So it's definitely a beautiful reading. I would love to know how this is manifesting in your life. Lots of big energies here. And, you know, if it didn't resonate, you have to remember these are general readings, Aries. Sometimes it will hit and sometimes it won't. But check your rising and your moon, because sometimes they will resonate more in a particular week. And lastly, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button or given it a like, a comment, or a hype. I really encourage you to do that. Helps grow the channel and helps build our community. God bless, love, and light.